Thank you very much, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, for inviting me for presentation of the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard 1 and Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Shibli Rubayatul Islam, Chairman, Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, and Dr. Sheikh Shamsuddin Ahmed, Commissioner, Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, and Dr. Mizanur Rahman, Commissioner, Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, and our President, Mr. Mohammad Asadullah FCS, President ICSB, learned member, and the dignitaries sitting just of the dais, and dear colleague and professional, Assalamu alaikum. I'm very privileged and honored to be here to present the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard 1 among you. And since we have actually 5 presenters here, I have to complete my presentation within 10 minutes or 12 minutes. So I'll go very fast. This could be a very good session if we could make it interactive session, because we all are the company secretary professional here. But we have to go one way, speech. So let us start our today's presentation on the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard 1. Dear friends, we know that Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission is the main regulator of Bangladesh capital market and also playing a very pivotal role in Bangladesh capital market, also in the financial market also. So the very learned commission led by Professor Shibli Rubayatul Islam and our 2 special guests here, and more 2 commissioner actually supporting the chairman for actually operating and running the regulatory scope of works in the capital market. And the capital market is now actually going very nicely, and we hope that although the people are thinking that this is very vulnerable, and we will see the very positive result in very near future, inshallah. Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission is working, and we are, as a professional body and statutory professional body, the Association of the Company Secretaries, ICSB, we are always and continuously supporting Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission for implementation of the rules, regulations, directives, and notification, and the law under the Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission issued by the Commission for compliance by the listed companies and other stakeholders. We always actually supporting, and as a part of our support, the Institute of Charter Secretaries of Bangladesh issued 6 standards on the Bangladesh, as in the name of the Bangladesh Secretarial Standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our president already said in his speech regarding the standard, and I am actually presenting the BSS 1. In introduction, I would say that the Secretarial Standard for board meeting, it is actually brought out by Bangladesh, by the ICSB for bringing and discipline and a single standard for following by all the professional, all the companies to make the task of the professional and the regulator easy. And the Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission actually adopted this standard for compliance by all the listed companies. And very recently, we know that the insurance regulator also issued a guideline on the corporate governance for compliance by the insurers, whether listed or non-listed insurance company, life insurance or non-life insurance companies. So our effort, the ICSB's effort, is to support Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission for compliance, ensure compliance by the listed companies. Convening of a meeting. we all know that the company secretary issuing the notice to the directors. So the entitlement goes with the directors, including the chairman, to convene a meeting. And the company secretary is actually issuing the notice on requisition by the directors or by the chairman. And in discussion with the chairman, the company secretary issue the notice to all directors. The authority lies with the board of directors, and we know that a director cannot work single. The directors actually work uh, collectively. So the agenda is fixed by the, again, board of directors, and chairman is actually leading the task, and company secretary is writing the actually notice with the agenda. And this agenda also company secretary sent to all the directors entitled to receive a board meeting of the company with the necessary material in actually with the brief on the proposed agenda for their understanding, so that they can contribute in the date of the board meeting and they can actually comment properly and perfectly on the decision, and they can contribute to the decision making. Minutes of the board, meeting of the boards, actually we know that the board meeting in every year, the listed company must have at least 4 board meetings. So again, in every quarterly, the company must have at least 1 meeting. So this is the minimum requirement by the law, but the company may have more meeting according to their requirement of business. So minimum 4 meeting and 1 meeting in a quarter is mandatory. And we all know, the company secretary know that the company must review its quarterly accounts every quarterly. So a meeting in a quarter is a mandatory requirement. So the requirement of the meetings in a year is 4. And regarding the meeting of the committees, the committee meeting is actually prescribed by the board, because board is the authority to form a committee for the business of the company. So for any specific business of the company, board form a committee. Board also prepare a term of reference or TOR or charter for the committee. In that charter, what is the responsibility of the committee, and what is the frequency of the committee, and what is the authority of the committee, that everything written down in the charter or in the TOR of the committee. Quorum. I believe you all know that quorum, according to the standard 1, BSS 1, the quorum is 1/3. So if the quorum is absent, so no business can be done. So for any business to be performed in a meeting, there must be quorum. So who is actually confirming the quorum? The chairman, by the assistance of the company secretary. Everywhere it is, if it is in the board meeting or in the AGM or in general meeting, everywhere the chairman is the responsible to ensure the quorum and business of a meeting is going on if the quorum is present. Attendance register, we maintain attendance register for a board meeting, and that attendance register must be actually filled up in every meeting. And leave of absence are also actually recorded on the basis of a request, whether it is come to the company secretary or the chairman or any director by the absenting directors, either in writing or by phone or verbally. It is recorded and the leave is granted to the absenting director. Chairman, every company or every board must have a chairman, and the chairman is responsible to ensure that all the directors entitled to receive a notice of the meeting is served to them by the company secretary. And the chairman is also responsible to ensure that all directors equally getting the opportunity to discuss and participate in the decision making in every agenda. And the chairman is also responsible to ensure that the company secretary provided timely the meeting material to all directors with the agenda and notice of the meeting. Circulation of resolution and supporting papers. Actually, this standard briefly covered resolution by circulation also, because it was the number one standard and first issued by the ICSB. But subsequently, ICSB issued a separate standard on the resolution by circulation. So we know that actually today my colleague will also present a standard on the resolution by circulation. But in brief, the resolution by circulation, in any urgent nature of decision, the company may have a resolution by circulation, and the proposed resolution by circulation must be sent to all directors entitled to receive the notice of the meeting, and the resolution with a separate signature sheet to each director. And once the signature sheet with the sign of the directors is returned to the company secretary, and the date is mentioned there, the resolution is passed, whether it is unanimously or it is in actually 51% of the, in general, like 51% of the majority of the director can pass the resolution. But there are some restriction. The passing of accounts, passing of the director's report, and passing of the quarterly accounts is not possible to have through resolution by circulation. Recording of minutes. So it is very interesting slide. Recording of minute. It could be very interactive. We know that according to our standard, the time frame for recording the minutes in the minutes book is 30 days. But within the 7 days, the company secretary must prepare the draft resolution with the proceedings, discuss with the chairman, and send to all directors for their review and comments. And within 15 days, the secretary will send the draft resolution to all directors, and the directors are required to return to the company secretary after their review if they have any comments to the company secretary within 7 days. And the company secretary is actually responsible to enter in the minutes book within 30 days. And the signature of the chairman is required in every page, initial and the last page. The chairman has to sign the minutes. Previously, for example, when personally I was working in GlaxoSmithKline in 1982, 3, 4, 5. At that time, we used to paste the minutes paper in the minutes book. But it is not wise, because it will be actually sometime the record will not kept for a long time. So this should be kept separately, but in the minutes book, every page must be separated when it is required. Recording of the minutes also included the company secretary must very carefully enter the name of all directors present, including the chairman, in the minutes, and also record the name of the person attending in attendance. For example, company secretary, CFO, head of internal audit and compliance is also attending the company meeting of the board of directors according to the corporate governance code 2018. So their name also must be actually recorded in the minutes. And also, if any member, any guest invited to present for certain business, their name also recorded in the minutes. And in case of any member absent, their name also, if with the prior permission from the chairman for his leave of absence, so with the granting the leave to that director, and in case of any the director actually commented against any agenda, that also need to be recorded in the minutes. Preservation, the minutes is actually permanent record of a company. It must be preserved for the long time, but at least for 12 years. But we used to maintain this is permanently all the minutes. And in case of any merger, acquisition, or a combination of a company, the transferee company must maintain the record of the companies, actually transferred companies also for future record. And we have some actually disclosure regarding meeting of the board of directors. For example, there are certain um, issues or subject or matter which are need to be discussed and resolved in the board meeting, that are actually listed, but this is not very exhaustive. We may have more item to discuss in the board meeting. This is actually some item the ICSB actually recorded here for the ease of the company secretary and company secretary professional to know what are the items to be discussed and resolved in the board meeting by the board of directors. So I'm at the end of my presentation, and thank you very much for your patience and hearing. Thank you.